It's 2007. You're sat in the living room on the family computer playing your favourite game, RuneScape. Life's easier now than it ever will be again. You might explore the wilderness with friends from school, or you might grind hours of flax for 10k GP. You've been playing for 6 months. Your parents buy you membership with phone credit every month for chores. Every corner of Gillinor still feels new. You're like most, managing with your rune scimitar and full rune armour. Yet there's the ones you see, the higher levels. Abyssal whips, dragon medhelm, and the legendary dragon chain body. You want to be that, yet you're so far away. You load up Miniclip after arranging with friends to meet them in Varrock. While browsing, you see something new. Picture this, the 2007 aesthetic of blinding green neon text on a black background, low-res flash banners flashing, cheap RS gold, instant delivery. You're curious, so you click it. Behind the scenes in Varrock West Bank, an underground multi-million ring is brewing. Millions of gold was being actively real-world traded every day, and you're just about to get into the loop of it. You're desperate. The picture of the character wearing a dragon chain body, the reaction of your friends seeing you wear it for the first time. Your parents only buy you membership for RuneScape every month. All your chore money goes on it, but your dad's wallet is right there, and he isn't. This is the story of one of RuneScape's biggest dramas. The story of how Jagex was forced to break their own game due to an industrial-scale fraud ring. Sometime during this era of RuneScape, a huge unexpected shift twisted underground of RuneScape's black markets. Real-world trading had evolved, far beyond a couple of kids selling their spare gold on eBay. It was now a round-the-clock enterprise. In dark rooms across East Asia and parts of developing economies, rows of computer ran automated hyper-advanced bot clients 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Thousands of identical computer-controlled characters, all flooding green dragon spawns in the wilderness, swarming yew trees, and mining millions of rune essence. They didn't sleep, they didn't chat, and they didn't miss a tick. They hyperinflated the economy, bringing in billions of funneled gold into the dark RuneScape underground. Running an industrial-level bot farm empire had one massive bottleneck: membership. To farm higher-tier resources that actually made the money, these accounts needed to be paid and members. Buying thousands of legitimate monthly subscriptions at $5 a pop would have eaten the gold farmers' profit margins. This is where the world of RuneScape real-world trade turns dark. Instead of paying Jagex legally, syndicates turned to carding and credit card stuffing. Automated strips testing millions of stolen credit card numbers leaked from international data breaches against Jagex's payment portal. If one cleared, that's a fresh batch of pay-to-play accounts. To gold farmers, this was luxury. To Jagex, it was an invisible hemorrhage. Thousands of subscriptions were being bought with only stolen numbers. The cardholders back home noticing unauthorized charges weeks later. In turn, a massive wave of chargebacks. The financial system was bleeding out, and the credit card networks were starting to open their eyes and ask questions. Jagex's office weren't just dealing with a video game balancing problem. They were fighting a massive corporate survival crisis. Every single day, thousands of unauthorized transactions were proceeded through their payment portal. An outsider looking at company metrics would be surprised. Player numbers look incredible, subscriptions are soaring, active accounts multiplying, and revenue numbers looked extremely healthy. But to the insiders, it was a slaughterhouse. For every single one of those chargebacks, Jagex didn't just refund a singular $5 subscription fee. Visa and MasterCard slapped them with a heavy processing fine for failing to secure their payment infrastructure. The banks were now looking at Jagex's high-risk fraud profile and were penultimately forced to deliver an ultimatum that sent absolute panic through the executive board. Fix your platform security, or we pull your payment processing entirely. Without Visa or MasterCard, Jagex couldn't collect membership fees. Without membership fees, the company will go under. The botters hadn't just built an entire underground economy inside Gillinor. They had put the gun to the head of the entire operation. Jagex knew it was time to pull the trigger to save themselves. Jagex were backed into the corner with no other options except submit. After years of RuneScape being abused and impossible illegal activity directed towards them, to save their payment gateway from total collapse, they had to cut out the rut, even if it meant amputating the limbs. In a singular game update, Jagex deployed the most draconian anti-fraud and anti-real-world trade measures in MMORPG history. An update which may have caused the most drama in RuneScape history, ultimately nearly killing it. First came the Grand Exchange, centralising all trading into a faceless and automated market board. But that still wasn't enough to stop gold farmers from simply trading millions of gold directly to buyers. Jagex then crossed a line no one ever thought they would. They abolished free trade. Overnight, player-to-player wealth transfers were locked down. You could no longer just hand your friends a stack of cash or a spare weapon unless it fell within a tight margin of equal value of just a few thousand coins. Although, this wasn't the end of it. They didn't just attack trading, they turned their sights on the soul of RuneScape itself, the wilderness. To prevent players from dying in the wildy and transferring wealth that way, Jagex completely gutted player killing as a whole. A dangerous, lawless area replaced with a sterile, safe minigame environment. The high-risk, high-reward heart of the game vanished. The reaction, let's say, was immediate and unadulterated chaos. Within minutes of the servers going live, thousands of players logged in, marched straight to Falador Square and began mass riots, wearing standard issue black outfits, spamming the chat box with anger and filled every world to capacity. To the millions of average players playing the game, it didn't feel like Jagex was saving the economy. It felt like they had just murdered RuneScape with no remorse. The golden era of sandbox MMORPG was dead. Yet underground, in the shadows of a newly locked economy, a terrifying workaround was already starting to form. Locking down trade and killing the wilderness would crush the black market, or so Jagex thought. They massively underestimated the sheer determination of millions of teenagers being locked out of their favourite game. The gold sellers and players didn't decide to quit, that'd be boring. Instead, they adapted in a way no one could have predicted. Because you couldn't trade multi-million abyssal whips for a few gold coins anymore, the underground outsmarted Jagex. Junk trading. If a buyer wanted to purchase a whip from a gold farmer, they had to fall Jagex's strict 30,000 GP trade limit altogether. The trade window became a bizarre market of digital garbage. You'd put your real payment and bridge the millions of gold left over, filling every item slot remaining with utterly worthless items: buckets, empty jugs, and bowls. Entire communities formed around pricing the digital trash. A stack of 5,000 ashes suddenly held a street value because it bridged the gap for a dragon chain body. Chaotic, ridiculous, and quite frankly, unstoppable. 3 years, RuneScape limped along under the weight of the trade limit. The economy, which had once thrived, was now starving of natural liquidity. Suffering a massive deflationary spiral in August 2008, where item values cratered overnight. Jagex's risk had paid off. They saved their payment gateways with credit card companies, stripping the soul out of their game to do it. It wasn't until late 2011, after more advanced server-side bot detection software finally gave them some fight back. Jagex therefore reversed the trade limit and bought back the wilderness. That single update and its chaotic fallout left a long and permanent scar on the community. On the brighter side, it birthed something else, a collective, unshakable nostalgia for the way things used to be. When Jagex finally launched old-school RuneScape years later, millions of players didn't just log in for the gameplay. They logged back in to reclaim the paradise they lost on December 10th, 2007. I'm one of those players returning for old school RuneScape to relive an old nostalgic dream was me. Thank you for watching my first video. I really enjoyed digging through the internet for facts, videos and pictures used today. It's uncanny, researching through what seems like such a short time ago, but in reality is a period of the new internet. Scrolling through hundreds of pictures of history where people weren't as technological as they are today was honestly a joy. I'll be doing more videos like this in the future, so if you enjoyed it, please subscribe. Thanks to you, and goodbye.